5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy T-Lo.
Yo, what's Gucci? This your man Tweet.
What up, y'all? DJ Kid Fresh.
What's up? This your boy RL.
And we're next.
And you're rocking with The Rebirth every Monday at 7 p.m.
With your host, Shay Marriott.
Let's go.
And Eli Isabel. At Philly Jam 95.3 FM.
Good evening. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Rebirth on Philly Jamz 95.3 FM. I am your host, Shay Marriott, and my sidekick.
Hey, it's your boy Eli Isabel, a.k.a. the South. You got something to say? Am I the trusty sidekick? Do you trust me?
I trust you. Know I trust you, bro.
Do you trust me like Batman trusts Robin?
Did Batman trust Robin?
I would have hoped so.
I don't think in the beginning he didn't.
Okay, we're going to go back to the, not these new movies that have come out, but you know.
Welcome back, man.
Thank you. Yeah. It's good to be back. You see my tan?
I see.
Got a little chocolate. Got a little
Matching
chocolate.
Is your shirt chocolate or dark purple?
Oh, no, it's like a plum.
Oh, okay.
It's the color of your hair. My hair and your shirt are one and the same.
How was your work trip?
Yes, I worked very hard.
Yeah, okay.
You think I just waste the company's money and don't, what are you talking about?
Okay.
I'm a very hard worker. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. No, it was awesome as always. Listen, when I tell you that, I know I need these moments where I'm alone because I like being by myself. I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much I don't realize how much I need until I get back to it.
Right.
So it was great from that perspective, man. Just sun every day. It was 80 degrees.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I worked out every day.
Okay.
So I feel like I've jump-started my life again. I've been eating lettuce all day. And I've been eating lettuce and trail mix.
Okay.
Trying to get myself together. You know all what I mean? So, I'm back in full effect, back to the grind, man.
That's what's up.
Saw my kids. My kids were here this weekend, so that was awesome.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're here for different sad circumstances, but nevertheless, a good time, with my babies and yeah, man.
Good.
We here.
Did you have any rain down in Tampa?
It rained Wednesday, I think it did, for a little bit. It rained for a little bit, then it's Florida.
Yeah.
It come and goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was cool. How was your spring break?
Good. It was good. I didn't go anywhere. But it was good. The boys, they were home and they were doing their basketball thing and all of that.
Did you work? Or you took off?
Yeah, I worked. No, I didn't take off.
Oh, okay.
No, because I'll be leaving the first week of May to Aruba.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I'll be over there.
Don't be
on
over
a
there
work trip.
Don't be over there in the community. Stay on the resort, because we getting done wrong out here in these other countries. When we all out,
you ain't gotta worry about me.
Don't be downtown. What city you going to in Aruba?
I don't know. I'll be Aruba on the resort.
Okay, yeah, you do that. You stay over there. I want to see you on the news.
That's where I would be. And you see me on the news, you better come get me. Y'all better come find me.
I want to see you in the back of a pickup truck with a mask on your face.
Oh,
they driving your ass off somewhere.
No.
We don't need that, Shay.
No, we don't need that. Jesus, take the wheel.
Ooh, take it and drive it all the way through.
Again, welcome to the Rebirth on Philly Jamz 95.3 FM. Listen, everybody, we are actually starting next Monday, you will be able to tune in live to the Rebirth on YouTube at Rebirth U on YouTube. So I know right now you guys can also see it on Philly Jamz YouTube, but starting next Monday, you will also be able to stream live. We are going to be streaming live on the Rebirth U YouTube starting next Monday. So make sure you tune in for that.
Shout out to the Instagram family who be showing up.
Yeah, Instagram,
Showing
Facebook. You guys definitely hold us down. We appreciate you, the listeners, and all of that. So, again, happy Monday. If you'd like to join the conversation tonight, make sure you hit us up in the chat or you can give us a call at 267-908-3166. All right, so what we got going on?
So tonight, let's get into our right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
First, I figured this will make you happy,
Okay. Oh, yes.
possibly.
Go ahead.
So, Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts
Yay.
has signed a mega deal
Yes.
today, an NFL record contract. So, as you all know, I am not an Eagles fan.
You didn't have to add that.
Anyway, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what
just
happened.
report the story.
Listen to this. This is a part of the story. I'm in the airport going to Tampa, and I had some cowboy shorts on. So I heard the TSA guy saying, y'all, I don't know what Philly people, y'all are ridiculous. So I heard the TSA guy saying, excuse me, sir. But I didn't know he was talking to me. So then he said it like third time. So I turned around, just busy talking to me. He said, yeah, you say, listen, don't let him come through. Look at his shorts. I said, bruh, y'all was just in the Super Bowl. Y'all still pressed about? Why y'all so pressed about us all the time? Bruh, we lost in the first round of the playoffs. You went to the Super Bowl and you still hating.
Oh, wow.
I was like, everybody thought it was funny.
What'd you do?
I said what I just said. Why you hating on me? You just was in the
okay.
Super Bowl. Why are you worried about me and my team? Anyway, Jalen Hurts
That's funny.
signed a contract extension with the Philadelphia Eagles that pays him $255 million over the next 5 years, including $179.3 million guaranteed.
Man,
Damn, it's right.
that is awesome.
Can you imagine waking up this morning and this is your new money? What would you do today if somebody like you hit the lottery, you hit $255 million?
Man, I'll drop down on my knees first.
And after that, I'm pulling my pants
I'm
down. And
blocking
I'm shooting a
everybody.
video with my pure ass out, so I can tell all the people I can't stand, kiss my ass.
See, and that's when something will go wrong.
That's all right. Well, let it be then. Let it be.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, but congratulations to that brother, man.
Absolutely.
But here's
Absolutely.
yes, go on, give us a little applause out. So here's the most important part of this story. Shout out to Nicole Lynn. If you don't know who she is his agent, and she is rocking with him. This is a black woman who orchestrated this deal
That's
for
awesome.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. Can we get an applause for Nicole Lynn?
absolutely.
34 years old.
Absolutely.
And
Shout out to her check too, because I know she
Shout
got
out
a
to
nice
her
piece.
check.
of-
That 10% equals to $2.5 million, right? Plus ongoing,
check. Yeah.
So, but the more important part about this is she's now going to be more people are going to want to sign with her.
Absolutely.
More people are going to want to sign with her. And listen, shout out to her, man. I'm just glad to see people like us, especially black women,
Yeah.
because this is a male-dominated field.
Yeah,
Black
for
women
sure.
are not in
For
sports
sure.
agents. They're not sports agents traditionally. Women, period. So shout out to her, man. And I hope whatever she has in store for her, I hope it continues to lead her and she gets everything she deserves.
Absolutely.
So this story was really for Nicole Lynn, but yeah, shout out to Jalen Hurts too for getting the bag.
He's such a shout out to you for delivering an Eagle story.
Yeah.
Because I know that was hard.
My throat closed up as I
I
thought
know
about
it
what it
did.
was going to say.
I know it did. It's all good though.
It's all good.
You're a trooper.
Yeah, I made it through. I need you to give me a Dallas Cowboys story one night.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that.
Something positive.
All right.
As the people in the background, she just threw up in her mouth. I hope there's gravy and cat food.
I
I hope that's what it tastes like.
I can definitely do that. I can do that. That's not a problem.
So moving on, Shay Marriott,
My whole name?
the whole government. Tonight, our Black History moment. We're gonna talk about somebody pretty cool. I know you guys. Well, I'm not gonna assume. I like to give you things that I believe like people are not aware of, and they might not necessarily know. As you know, here at the Rebirth, we do Black History Month. 300 and well, we're not here. How many Mondays we here? 50 something.
Yeah.
No, not that many. No, 12 Mondays a year. Why am I saying 50 something?
That's okay.
I'm thinking about the weeks.
That's all right.
It's been a long day, y'all. Don't mind me. Anyway, let me get into our little known Black History fact tonight. Why are you staring at me like that?
What up, sister? What up, sister? I can't even say her name out tonight because I'm laughing at
Jen.
you. You see, no, I'm saying hi to Sir Francia. What up, girl?
Oh, hey, how you
She
doing?
she always tune in.
Yes. Hello, welcome
I
to the show
appreciate
tonight.
you. Yes.
So tonight I'm going to talk about Marie. This is a real story, by the way. Marie Salika Williams. I feel like I have to tell y'all that. She was born in 1849. She was born Marie Smith in Natchez, Mississippi. After she was born, her family moved to Cincinnati, where a wealthy family funded voice lessons for her. She moved to San Francisco in the 1870s. Oh. Get out my phone. Say Mariette.
I wasn't looking at your phone. I was not looking at your phone. I promise you. He said, "Whoa, I wonder what it was." Go ahead.
She moved to San Francisco in the 1870s and studied with Signora G. Bianchi. She then studied in Chicago with Antonio Farini, who taught her the Italian method of singing. There she met a fellow student, operatic baritone Samson Williams, who led her to be the first African American to sing at the White House for President Rutherford B. Johnson.
President who?
Rutherford B. Johnson.
Oh, okay.
You don't know nothing about Rutherford?
Nope.
I'm gonna need y'all to get up on y'all history down here. I'm sick of teaching y'all stuff every Monday, then you don't know nothing.
Oh, wow.
As a matter of fact, by the end of the show tonight, I need both of y'all to be able to spell Rutherford.
Rutherford. I can spell it.
Both of y'all. We got a spelling bee going on later on. You ready? Get your mind right. All right. Shay, let's get into this first topic. Oh, my God. First cousins who married. Sigh.
But they didn't know they were married. They didn't know they were cousins.
They know now, damn it. So Michael Lee and Angela Piang, if I'm saying her name right, they live in Utah. They apparently
Oh, well, there you go.
No.
Don't tell me that.
You can marry more than one woman in Utah, but it's illegal to marry a relative. That is illegal.
Oh, God.
So marrying your cousin is illegal in many states, including Utah. So they, knowing their cousins, tied the knot in Colorado. So they knew what they were doing. They said their parents took a while to adjust to the idea of them falling in love and marrying. Angela said, Michael and I got along right away, and we were kindred spirits. Just playing, we loved each other's company. The couple underwent genetic testing to make sure their children cannot be a risk for birth defects. And they say everything is perfectly on track, and she is now expecting their first child.
So you have another story. There's another cousin story going on because these people know, but then there was a cousin story where they didn't know they was cousins, and they got 4 kids.
Woo. Who are these people? Let's talk about them then.
So, see, they trifling. They first cousin.
They some siblings' kids.
Right. Now, that's crazy. Yeah.
So they grew up together, and they look alike.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell their family in this photo right here. But let's say all this. Does love trump everything?
No. It does not.
So, okay, case in point, like those people. I don't know the other stories Jen has.
The other story was actually on the news. They were married, didn't know that they were cousins.
How long were they married?
10 years.
And they found out through DNA testing?
No.
Or what was the
How did they
situation?
find out? She's going to look that up. Our producer's working on that right now. But they have 4 kids. They didn't know. Now, I'm assuming because they didn't know, they can't be first cousins because you usually know who your first cousin is, right?
Well, it depends.
So it's probably further down the line. But in that situation, in that case, not the one you just read, but in the other case, I believe that there's a lot of people together and don't realize that they're with their cousins. Because people are not keeping track of family members. I mean, you have all these different kids with different people, and you don't, different fathers, different mom, you don't know.
And the families are really divided nowadays, too.
Right,
So,
exactly.
I guess that's possible. However, Shay, so you married, hypothetically, you married somebody for 5 years. Life is great. Person for you, this is your person. And you found out that's your cousin. What, do you divorce? Like, is this an automatic divorce at that moment?
What you gonna do? That story that you just read, they knew what they were doing. So
yeah,
I don't.
they went
I don't
into
agree
it.
with
They
that.
went to a different state.
Yeah.
And what state lets you marry your cousin? Why?
I don't know.
I mean, Colorado apparently, but why Colorado? Why is that okay?
They probably didn't do the whatever background or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, so I guess if you are in love with your cousin and you find out years later, like, yeah, what do you do?
Yeah. See, this is the situation with the other couple that didn't know, and they were married for 10 years and have 4 kids. They have 3 kids. No, they don't. I mean, why would they divorce at this point? You know what I'm saying? They've been together for 10 years and they got 4 babies. So what is it's already done.
And how do you let that information get out? That's my question. Listen, we gonna keep on the status quo. No one's knowing that I married my cousin.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I wonder how their kids are. You said they got 3 kids, and if there are blood cousins, there's a high possibility that something could be wrong with the children.
Depending on how far down the line.
So how far down the line is removed? Like three times removed? That's okay. Like I don't know. Like what is it? What works?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Who would say on air?
So they in love and they happy. That's what we saying. At the end of the day. All right. If you will marry your cousin, call us.
Or if you have been in a situation, well, back in the day, not back in the day, even now, stuff be happening with cousins and stuff. As kids, experimenting and all of that stuff. So, it doesn't surprise me. I put it that way. It don't.
Yeah, you know what? That would be really
shock
strange if I found out like my person was my cousin, like down the line. And somebody asked me that too, just because of me meeting her in the town where I was having my family reunion. Listen, she ain't your cousin, is she?
Right, yeah.
And I was like, I hope not.
And the other thing too is, think about this. You can't even go by last names anymore because some people don't actually have their true parents' last name. You know what I'm saying? So they may have their whoever mom married may have their last name and grew up with that last name and not have their actual biological father's last name, and you end up dating somebody that is on your father's side or on your, you know what I'm saying? So it happens. So this is not unusual for me. I think what's unusual is the one you read,
the Piangs,
where they knew what they were doing and they're first cousins, and the family was against it, but they went ahead and did it anyway.
I mean, what do they? You can't stop them. They're adults,
right?
Yeah, that's definitely a weird thing right there. So, no shout out to them. Let's be clear. The couple in Colorado, no shout out to you.
Yeah.
What you got, Jen? What you got? Y'all see I don't have my glasses on tonight. You know why? I'm wearing contacts.
Oh, you got contacts now?
I mean, I've been having them. I just struggle putting them in.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes one is on the side of my eye, and the other one straight, and I have these issues. So this couple right here, you getting a call from Tion. Tion, she'll call you back. And Mary, my bad.
He dead wrong.
I put my bad.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but Lord,
Pimping ain't easy out here. That's what you get. So listen, let me just read a little bit of this right here. Hey, Mary.
He just threw you all the way under the bus.
Jen could be a little cousin. You want me to stop saying the name? All right, I'm sorry. A married Colorado couple found themselves in this situation after doing a DNA test. Selena Cunon says she knew her husband had family in the same area that she does, but they didn't know they were related before tying the knot. It turns out her husband's grandmother is related to her dad's side of her family. Selena said, it's like, oh my goodness, we've been married for 10 years. And then this happens. They all liking this. Okay, I'm reading verbatim, y'all, because I don't be saying the word like. I could have married anyone, but I married my cousin on accident. So listen to this right here. This is what makes it as not crazy. I don't know. This is a little different. She married. It turns out her husband's grandmother is related to her dad's side of the family. In what way?
Her husband's grandmother.
Her husband's grandmother is related to her dad's side of the family. I think once you start doing it, you kind of getting a little bit out of the bloodline. You know what I mean? I don't know. And then who's to say that these people aren't connected just because of other marriages? So that doesn't make you cousins, per se. You get another. You blowing up. Here you go. Be quiet.
Yeah, give her phone back because he's doing your business all.
I was not. I didn't mean to do that.
After he told me to get out his phone. Ain't that something?
Stop saying that. Like I got something to hide.
You the
I ain't
one
want you to
said
see
it.
I ain't want you to look at my credit score.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my gosh. All right.
So let's get into tonight's topic. One of them. We're gonna have several, but tonight we're gonna talk about. So Shay, let's talk about. I thought this was interesting. That's why I wanted to bring this to the table. As people who, when we're in friendships, relationships, and things of that nature, we often want people to conform to who we are. We want people to adjust to who we are because in our minds, when we're doing that, things run smoother. Because if you're like me, if you're adjusted to my way of doing things, then we're fine. So then we get mad when people don't be who we want them to be. Have you ever
Of course.
been upset or angry at a person for not being who you want them to be?
Oh, no. No, I have not.
Even when you were younger.
I mean, I think we all have, as a, until you realize how selfish that is.
It's very selfish. And I
You
think,
know.
so when I was younger, I do a little self-disclosure here.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, with my older daughter's mother, like when we met, like I said, she was already very much living in the world as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And way more mature than me. She already had a child, and she had a full-time job with benefits. My situation was I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 other dudes, splitting bills.
Mm-hmm.
So my life was not as hectic. It was not as real. Even though I was a year older than her, it was not as real as her life.
Right.
And I think I always say this, part of the reason that we didn't work out, along with me being just super immature, was she needed me to grow up way faster than I was able to grow up. Because she was already out here, and I would be over there eating up the cereal and eating up, because I'm an immature young man, and I'm over here, taken away from the household, not thinking, oh, let me pick up some groceries, or let me pick up something. I never had to do that. I had never dated anyone with a child. The girls I knew were like either in college or they had an apartment,
Right,
but I could
right.
go over there and do whatever. It wasn't taken away from.
So you was eating up her,
I was over there eating up the Fruit Loops and shit. That ice cold milk and some Fruit Loops. Jesus.
oh my
Jesus. But yeah, so part of our issue was that I just could not be who she needed me to be. What? What you laughing at? You gonna tell me some cold milk and some cereal?
No.
That's not the
I
business.
actually like visualize you sitting there eating them.
With milk running down my chin.
And her child looking at you like this.
Mr. Ed over there eating all the cereal.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I think, and then even in friendships later too, because for me, if I rock with you, I rock with you, and there have been times in the past where I've been guilty of expecting people to give me what I give them.
Yeah.
So I had to really learn that lesson the hard way. Like just because you may go hard for somebody, I had to learn that you should not automatically expect that.
Yeah.
And that was
a lot of people had to learn that lesson.
Yeah, that's a painful lesson, especially when you think you really rock with somebody. It's a used feeling, and it's a disrespected. You feel disrespected at the same time.
So it goes back to what we always kind of run across on this show is when we talk about expectations. Like, stop placing your expectations on others because you're always going to be disappointed.
Right.
Why? Because it's your expectations. And people don't have the same expectations that you place on them for themselves. So this is why we always get disappointed in our relationships, whether it's our friendships, people that our spouse, whatever. This is our coworkers. You know what I'm saying? So it all goes back to that word expectations.
So what about when people start out? So let's just say, because we do have expectations of people when we are interacting with them. So let's just say when you start a relationship, friendship, relationship, whichever one it may be, and coworkers, whatever, and the people are now meeting those expectations and then they fall off. Like if you've never just fully met those expectations that I have for you, that's one thing. But if you were once doing them and then all of a sudden you are reverting, well, I ain't gonna say reverting back. Your true self is now coming through and you are not that person. Should there be a level of disappointment with that?
I think that, like you just said, you're really not that person. So everybody, most people, when you first, upon meeting them, most people, they present you with what? Their
best self.
representation. I mean, they're not representation. They're representative.
But yeah.
They're representative, right? Or your manipulators, they're going to listen to what it is that you're looking for. And then while you're sitting there, spilling all the beans to what you're looking for and what you need and what you didn't have in your last friendships, they're taking the notes. And they're going to spit right back out everything you just said and present themselves as that, right? So if it falls off, my thing is it was never real. If it falls off, it was never real. And that's and when I tell you, it's that's the difference. And I'll use my relationship now. There has not been nothing this man has done different from day one, and that is actually why he's my fiance.
How long y'all been together?
Consistent. It's been 2 years now.
Oh yeah, that can't be a facade.
It's been 2 years now. It's been straight consistency.
Wow.
Nothing has changed, or if it changed, it got better. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm talking about like the important things, the integrity, all of that. People open your doors and car doors and all of that stuff, but sometimes they don't and they forget, or they do it the first couple months. It's the same thing, has every day. Nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that people do certain things to make an impression, or because maybe you talked a little bit too much and you shared what it was that you wanted, and then they present that. But you'll know if it's real or not. That's why it's important to date all seasons.
I have 2 takeaways from everything you just said.
Oh boy, here we go.
This has been for real.
Jesus.
One, Shannon need to be doing a conference, a men's conference. Because
Rebirth 4.0.
Listen,
he'll be on the next one.
Bruh, 2 years and nothing. It's only leveled up.
Yeah.
That he needs to talk about that. And I think that's important I think it's important. It would be important for both of y'all to kind of discuss it with our audience.
You see Jen poking her lips out.
Jen said, I know the truth behind this relationship.
No, she trying to schedule the show. I already know where her mind at. Nope.
No, but I think that because as men,
look, he can be a guest on the show.
There we go. Because as men, no matter how hard we try, it's hard to maintain that sometimes, especially once real life gets to going. Like when you guys were dating and in the courting process, that's easy. But once he comes home from work tired,
why is it easy? But no,
I'm not saying that it can't be done, Shay. I'm commending him. Why is it easy in the beginning?
Yeah,
because it's the chase. So you like you said, you put your best foot forward, right? You want to impress this person and let them know who you are. And I'm not saying men don't continuously do that, but I don't think it's as consistent all the time. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I said he should talk about that, because if he's able to be that consistent 2 years in, after there's real life, there's kids, there's work, there's I'm tired. When things start to happen, it's hard to sometimes it's hard to maintain that focus on your relationship or over your relationship the way it was when it began. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it can't be done.
Yeah. I think it also plays how much you're invested and how much, again, are you doing something that is naturally you? That is just who you are. If it's not who you are, then I think it becomes challenging. Like for me, I'm used to coming home cooking. I'm used to cooking pretty much every day. Now he cooks too, so that some of that is off of me, but that's just who I am.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel extra, or doesn't feel like it's, I'm forcing myself to do it. It's part of who I am.
Who you are.
Right.
Yeah. But are there days, because that's naturally who you are, that doesn't mean there aren't days where you don't feel like it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Man, you have to force yourself.
Right.
Or you just be like, no, what, we ordering out.
Right.
So that doesn't take away from, I'm just saying, like, when that's a part of when real life gets into the mix.
Yeah, most
sometimes
definitely.
it's just difficult to maintain that. So I commend him on that. That's definitely not it's not no shade in that at all. I want to learn to be that way.
So when you say, when we talk about, so let's look at the friendships more so instead of the spouse or our intimate relationships.
Okay.
when we expect things, because this can go with parent and child. I think you really see this with parent and child.
Right.
You know, we clean our house a certain way, and then when we tell our kids, you need to clean up or do your chores, and we expect them to do it the way that we do it, and when they don't, we say, well, this is not done right, or it's not done, no, it's done the way that they know how to do it, but because it's not done to your expectations, then it's not right.
So is that a part of it? Even with that, is that a part of teaching people how to treat you? And so teaching them to, can you teach somebody to meet your expectations, or should they already be meeting them?
You know what? It sounds so, I don't know. I have to look at this in a different way, because when you say, can you teach someone to meet your expectations, that feels selfish.
It does feel selfish, but say with the cleaning up. So one of the things you expect is when you wash dishes, you wipe the counters down too. Mm-hmm. Don't just wash the dishes and then there's stuff all over the counter and on the center island. Mm-hmm. So, but if they don't do that, then you have to teach them to do that, right? That's part of your expectation of the kitchen being clean. Mm-hmm. Is that selfish, or is that just doing it the way, them meeting your expectation of the kitchen being clean? That's a part of it for you. Mm-hmm. So it does sound selfish from a relationship perspective. But can you? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So I get. So if I look at it from that way, it's like someone, you're teaching someone a skill, right? So we're teaching our kids a skill. We might be supervisors, maybe teaching their coworkers a skill, right? So once they pick up that skill, will they do it exactly the way that you do it? They may not. Will the counter get wiped? It may get wiped, but it may get wiped after everything is done or before everything is done. It may not be exactly how, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think we have to learn to be okay with that, because it's only one of us. And our expectations are our expectations. And when we put that on people and we expect them to, to be on point with that all the time, then I think that's when it becomes toxic.
Right.
The relationship becomes toxic in some way. Now, needs, standards, expectation, I feel those are all different. They kind of show up in different ways. When you're in a relationships, if you have specific needs that you have as a man, and that's law for you, then I think that it's up to you to pick the right person. And I mean, man or female. So let me make that.
Because there are women manipulators in the world.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about manipulation, but
well, you mentioned
I'm
that
just
earlier.
saying females and males, all this whole gender thing. Anybody, let me just be politically correct. If you honest and say, hey, these are my needs, this is what I need in a relationship, then, and not expectations, because now I'm saying I'm expecting you to do this, but this is my needs. And that person has the option to say, oh, I can do that, or I can't. Or, okay, I can't do that, but here's what I am willing to do. Right? But if I'm saying these are my expectations, then I'm expecting you to do this. I'm not giving you an option. I'm expecting you to do this. That's just kind of how I don't know.
So a bit of a pushback.
Go ahead.
So I don't see a major difference in between the needs and expectations. Because if I tell you what my needs are, then I expect you to do that. And if you agree to meet my needs, if you say, like you just said, then that person has the option of saying whether or not they can do that. So if I tell you this is what I need within this relationship or this friendship, and you take that on, so I expect that from you. If you agree that this is something you're gonna do, then I expect that from you.
But wait a minute, you just back up. You said if I tell you what my needs are, let's pause. Or if I'm telling you what my needs, are you giving that person the opportunity to say I can do or I can't? Or are you just saying if I tell you what my needs are, then I expect you to do it without that person without having a conversation if this is something that they can do or not?
Well,
and I think most people do that.
Right. Well, absolutely. I want you to. It is optional. It's up to you to decide whether or not this is something that you want to take on. So yeah, I'm telling you with hopes of you know what I'm telling you, then you can figure out if this is something you want to enter into. So of course it's all optional, but don't say you can do something or this is what you're willing to do, and vice versa, because you're gonna have needs too, and whatever your needs are. So part of the needs of my household is for me to make sure that they need roof, electric, savings. They need the things that people need. So by being in this relationship and having a child, I've entered into this with the knowledge of knowing these are the things I have to provide. So those needs are an expectation. I cannot show up without a check every 2 weeks and take care of this household. That's expected of me now. So their needs become in my book. This is my opinion. Their needs become the expectation for me as the man of this house.
But that is your expectation of what a man is supposed to do. That's the expectation of yourself. You as a provider, that's what you put out there. When you met your wife, did she say that those were the things that she needed from you? Did she specifically say that?
Not per se.
Okay. Right. Exactly. But that is when
it's
decide.
understood. Certain things are just understood, right?
No, it's not. And that's a problem. Certain things are not understood, and that is the issue that we have today in relationships. It's not. So you take a man like yourself that is from the South, right? You have a different expectation that you hold on yourself as being a provider for your family than where you might take someone that is from up north. Their expectation of being a provider may look different than what yours are. Right. So, when you say it's that it's unspoken, it's not. But that's the issue with a lot of relationships, that we're leaving things to not really talk about, and then when this stuff comes up, now we're having a problem with it. Well, I was expecting you to do this. Oh, you was expecting? That was your expectation. It goes back to that. So really quick, I always like to give definition of things so we can make it clear. So needs and expectations are subtly different in that expectations are open to influence, while needs are a little more set in stone. There are limitations or requirements that determine customers' choice of product. Okay, so remember I said the option of things, having that option or whatever. So it is different. But what you're saying is absolutely what a lot of people also feel, and that's where the miscommunication comes from. This is when you hear men are from Mars and women are from Venus and all of that, because we're really not. We're just not having the conversation.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, that does make sense. I think so, and we talk about this all the time. Communication can resolve a lot of things before the relationship begins, during, and even after. You still need to have some kind of communication, even when you decide to move forward. No. I'm not disagreeing with that part at all. I do think so. Maybe because of the culture that I come from, my needs and expectations look, like you said. You made a good point with that. My needs and expectations look different. One of the things that I need and I've grown to expect is my house to be run a certain. And this sounds cavemanish maybe, but like I need food cooked, and I have friends out here who are married and their women don't cook. They either eating out or they do cooks, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm working 12 hours. I'm not cooking too. I'm gonna bring the groceries home and cook them. Not literally going to the market. However, I'm just saying so I think it is a cultural thing. By region, meaning. So I get what you're saying about as far as that's a good point. I don't know.
I think it's and not even just a cultural thing, but what your expectation is of a man, like a man. What is your expectation of a man? How you hold yourself? That's why I said the reason why he's been so consistent is because that is what he believes a man is supposed to do.
Right.
So it's easy to do that for him, right? But for someone else that is not that they just do it because that's you supposed, first date and beginning and woo 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 and all of that, and then eventually it's gonna fall off. Like, oh babe, I'm sorry, my bad, I ain't get the door. Because that's not what you truly usually do.
I am spoiled. Thank you very much. However, because of my spoilage, then in turns allows you to be spoiled.
I hear you, Priscilla.
That's all. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. So let's look at this. Let's look at this with friendships, right? Because I think that in our friendships, sometimes people are really drowning and they're suffering in their friendships because maybe the dominant friend is. Let's talk about the territorial person. Okay, because that territorial person, they have a lot of expectations. I expect you not to be going out with your friends and you didn't invite me, or I expect this or I expect that. Like, that territorial person could actually really become very controlling in that friendship. Right? Now, doesn't mean that person doesn't have their own feelings, because in their mind, they're saying, well, that's my friend. Or if they see, if they see the person that they're close with out with other people, that might bring out jealousy or whatever the case may be in certain ways, right? So, and it doesn't mean that their feelings are not valid. Their feelings are valid, but their expectation of the friendship, their expectation that their friend can't have other friends, that's not valid.
What about this part of friendships? Say for example, me and you are cool, you and Jen are cool, but I don't rock with Jen, so you can't. Jen's my enemy, so you can't rock with my enemy.
That's not cool. That's
I see
not
people
cool.
say that all the time.
And absolutely. And I'm
friend
glad
of my
you brought
enemy
that.
is my enemy.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because that is not cool to put somebody in a situation. Now, mind you, if excuse me, y'all.
Get some water. Get some water.
I got. Now, if Jen did something to you that was, I'm good. I was trying not to burp on air, to be honest with you. If Jen did something to you that was very mean and evil, then that's a, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. Because I don't get down with people that are like that. So that'll be an issue. Sorry, we're just using you as an example, Jen. We know you cool people.
I don't really rock with her like
but
that.
if you don't have a reason, like if you really don't, you just like, if I say, well, hey, why don't you like Jen? I don't know. She just be acting funny sometimes. That's not enough information for me to not be cool with her. You know what I'm saying? But because you and I have been friends all this long time, the expectation is you don't need to know why I don't like her. I just don't like her, and that should be good enough for you. And people really think that and feel that way.
You know what? I'll give you, my old partner, Nelly, right? We had a situation one time where this dude, he was a follower of the show, and he, it's like a black Israelite or something, whatever the hell he is. And so this is right when the whole Colin Kaepernick thing was going on, right? So me and Nels was tight, you know what I'm saying? And he came at me real crazy on Facebook about football, right? So he and I had some little back and forth or whatever. And so I was telling her about it. And I was just like, I don't even want him. I wanted to block him. I didn't even want him on the whole thing anymore. But she didn't want that. And I felt a little bit like, yo, I'm your man. This dude came at me real foul on Facebook. I don't argue with people on Facebook. We two grown men. Like,
And this was on the show?
No, this was because he had became my Facebook friend. He was a follower. He was both of our Facebook friends. So he came at me real crazy on my Facebook page outside of the show.
Okay.
But it don't matter. Like, I don't want to see you. I don't need your support. Like, if you coming at me on some real foul ish about being a sellout, black people this, black people that, like, why you watching football? And I was like, yeah, get off my Facebook page with that nonsense. And then he, so we took it to the inbox, and I was just like, bruh. I blocked him. I was done because he lived way in South Carolina, so I couldn't get to him to choke him out. But nigga, so get off my page with that. And how do you come to me in the inbox? First thing we talked would have been one thing, but you came right on my page.
Right.
Like talking reckless about black people and watching football and all that. So I was like F him. I was done with him. But then I was like, yo, I told her what happened. And she didn't know him. She didn't know him no more than I did. But it was just like a situation where she did not want to block this, get rid of this guy. That made me mad. So now, granted, I was wrong because I shouldn't have put that expectation on her. Maybe, but I just expected a little bit of like, yeah, he's out of here. I got you, E. Because if anybody disrespected her, this is how I feel, or you, and they're followers of us, then I'm done with. If you're done with them, I'm done with them. And when it comes to some disrespectful stuff, like you said earlier, there was a situation. If Jen did something really foul to me, then you would be like, all right, she gotta go.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it from that perspective. So, but now based upon how we're talking, maybe I didn't have the right to put that expectation on her. I just figured it would happen naturally after me telling you this story.
That's a tricky one because I think that if he was following the show and he was interacting with the show,
he was an avid follower and interacted.
There was a possibility where he could have got smart during that time while y'all was on air. So,
True.
know,
and then I would have handled it then there in that platform while we were on the mic.
Yeah.
That's true. He could have still had his say. I just felt like, but even if somebody like says some foul to you on a live broadcast, I think they need to get blocked.
Yeah, I think when it's pertaining to show, absolutely. I would have agreed with that.
No negative energy.
I thought it, I think if it was pertaining to the show and their follower, and because you have people that are trolls, they're gonna troll. They're gonna, do those things, and we don't want that. I mean, we can have disagreements.
Right.
That's good. We're not gonna agree on everything, but when it becomes disrespectful, and then that's a problem. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Wait, so you would have my back, is what you're saying?
In that situation, yeah. So, Carmen says, I feel like we all place our expectations on everyone we see. We can walk around and say, look at that kid falling out. They should have beat them. Damn.
That's true. I say it all the time. All the time. He needed that one.
Right.
I think we naturally walk. I think we just through our everyday life.
Absolutely.
We do that. What happened?
Nothing happened. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think in everyday life we do that. It's natural.
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it.
Yeah. But I think but that's why it's so important that you really got to really check yourself. When you starting to kind of find yourself going out of box like that, you got to pull yourself in because expectations can bleed into controlling behavior so easily.
I do agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? It can, just like I always use so we'll say just like maybe a wife or a woman expects her man to be home at a certain time and y'all didn't have that conversation and he's 30 minutes late.
See, that's some bullshit right there. Because I'm grown. You can't be clocking 30 minutes late. What
right, but I'm just
17?
saying, I'm giving an example.
Okay.
But, the expectation and that person has may be, well, you should have called. You should have called me. Well, you could have called me and told me I was only 30 minutes late. And then it becomes a controlling conversation instead of, okay, you got home 30 minutes later than what you expect. Hey, did you have a good time? Yeah, okay, cool. All right, cool. Now, if you felt some type of way about it, then, babe, just next time let me know that you're safe. I was just a little bit worried. But, sometimes that can kind of bleed over into controlling behavior. And then now we talking about something else.
That's true. The police get involved, surely. Yeah, I one of the things that I've bucked against I say buck, B-U-C-K.
What up, Tasha LaQueen?
Tasha, how come I'm not getting what you getting comment-wise? Hey, Tosh. All right.
What did you buck on?
One of the things I've bucked on is just this whole little curfew thing. Now I don't stay out late because I'm at this point. What am I out there doing? I'm not out 1, 2 in the morning, but like even early in my relationship, I'm just like, yo, I'm not. I'll see you when I get home. Like I'm not. There's no what time you come out. I don't know. I'll be here though. Like I don't like nobody try to put like a curfew on me. Like I've never liked that in no.
A lot of men.
Since I was in the Army, that's the only people gave me a curfew.
They want to feel like they're being controlled or a child.
And then you get ready to go. It is 11 o'clock. The fellas, yo, where you going? Oh, yeah, I'm going to the crib.
That's funny.
Yo, it's hard being a man when you're dealing with like, it's 10:30. Where you going?
Mm-hmm.
And you gonna get the business. And I don't dislike it because of that. I just feel like I don't want to place no parameters on an adult. Like, you know what you should be doing. You know, coming in at 3 or 4, like, that's a little sketchy what you doing. But
Yeah.
you can't be like, yeah, well, be home by 11:30. Don't put no time on it now. And after time, if I'm out about 10, I'm tired anyway, so I'm coming in. But don't be trying to put no curfew on me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a buck. I'm gonna be in my car asleep just to buck the curfew.
Right down the street in
In the overflow parking, sleep
Yeah.
like a.
So, are you comfortable with if you're out and you know that you may be running, little? Let's
Be
say
home
there is
with
no
you.
time.
Come on.
There is no time on there,
That's how I
right?
feel.
Let's say there is no time, right?
Uh-huh.
But you know that you kind of running behind yourself, right?
what's running
Are you,
behind if I'm grown?
No. I'm saying we know that if we're out and we're having a good time, and especially if we say, I'll be back in a couple hours,
Right.
And it's probably about 4 hours past that, right? Is the courtesy to like send a text or call, say, hey babe, running behind, I'll see you when I get in?
I don't think nothing's wrong with that.
Okay.
I don't think nothing's wrong with
And
that.
I think that if that is done, I think people will have people that are not controlling and don't have a reason to feel the way that they're feeling will be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a problem with that, and he doesn't have a problem with me. He doesn't ask me what time I'm coming back or whatever, because sometimes I don't know what time I'm coming back.
Right.
But I will, while I'm out or whatever, I'm like, hey babe, everything good? Yeah, it's good. All right, I see you, whatever. But yeah.
So in your mind, right, for you personally, not for him or anything, and if you're out with the girls, is there a certain time for you in your head where you're like, I'm gonna take it on in? Is there a certain time that you automatically be like, all right, let me go?
Yeah, when I'm tired, hell yeah.
So that could be 11 o'clock. That could be 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be, but very rarely is it 2 o'clock unless I'm staying overnight somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Very, very rarely is that. Because I'm not out there like that. I'm not in the streets late like that anyway. But, even if it's 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I'm just like, hey, because stuff happens, man. Like, we living in a world today
It's
where,
crazy.
if you ain't doing nothing, you should be okay with pretty much sharing your location, because anything can happen to you now. My kids got my location. I have theirs. Anything can happen to you because people are like really tripping out here in these streets, So I don't want to say I'm going to be home at a certain time, or, I don't call and then something really happened and it's 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now it's in the morning.
Right.
And whoever done stole me. Whoever done stole me, they got a couple hours ahead of time on me, So yeah, you just gotta be mindful of stuff like that.
You're pretty high maintenance. I think they'll bring you back.
I'm not high maintenance. I'm so not high maintenance. Let me answer this question. So this was hard. This was a hard one with me, and I'm still learning, but it's not. Wait a minute.
But it's
so
hard.
this was a hard one with me, and I'm still learning, but it's hard not to have expectations of your parents. So with that being said, I have to go back to when was the first time your parents disappointed you? Because I know this is not just this person writing in. This is people experience this. I experienced this with my own father. So you have to go to when was the first time that person disappointed you, right? And you think about the first time they disappointed you, and then obviously there may have been moments after that, right? Through childhood, now here we are, adulthood, and it's the same behavior, right? So when you know that it's the same behavior and it's the same thing, at this point, I don't care if it is your parent, stop expecting something from someone that is not capable of giving that to you, because you're always going to be disappointed. Just because they're parent doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. They're still human. So if there has been a history of disappointments there, or a history of I was expecting this person to show up as my father, well, they are your father, but however, they are not capable of meeting your expectation
Right.
as what you feel a father should be in your life right now. So, that when it comes down to that, and when you give that up, it takes away the hurt and the pain. And when a person does say, hey, I'm going to come see you this weekend, sweetie, or I'm going to come by and see you, be like, okay, all right. In the back of your mind, be like, well, if he does, he does. If he don't, he don't. I'm still good. You're not expecting that, But I also know, too, sometimes it's the opposite, because that father, that mother, or whoever, whatever that situation may be expecting you to show up as a child when they want you to. Right? But they're not showing up as parents for you.
Right.
So that's when you got to set boundaries for yourself. And sometimes people feel like, well, maybe if I do this and I help them here, that they will finally show up for me and be the dad that I need them to be. But guess what? They not there, because they don't really realize or understand that they have an issue. And the issue that they do have, they don't know how to fix it.
Right. I think, and I know we're running short, I think that part of this whole thing is with that particular person right there, I think that we naturally want our parents. Like this is a natural thing that we want. So you don't automatically quit on that right away. Even as an adult, it's people that are adults that still even want their parents to still be together. Parents been divorced for 10 years, 20 years, but you still long for them to be together. You still long for your dad to be your father and to do what he didn't do when you were 12 and you're now 32.
Absolutely.
So that's a hard thing. That is a hard thing to move on from. And as children, we absolutely, in my opinion, we absolutely should have expectations. You brought me here. I didn't bring myself here. I didn't ask to be here. You brought me here. So with that being said, there are expectations of you. There are things that you absolutely, and your feet should be held to the fire. Like, I joke around about a lot of crap. And I play around a lot on here, but parenting is a thing that I take very serious. So I think that our feet should be held to the fire. And then now, at some point, you do have to move away from that. But in the back of your mind, you still always want that relationship or to have went. Want to take your dad to take you fishing or be there to cheer for you at your ball games. Who doesn't? Even it's grown men out here that long for that still.
Absolutely.
So I get where she's coming from.
Yeah.
And I get where you're coming from too. At a certain point, you can't expect these people to be what they're not capable of being. But when it's your parent, it seems like it's a little harder to give up on than a boyfriend or a low down dirty friend that did you wrong. Because I'm here because of you. You need to be doing right. I don't know. That's just my opinion on that.
No, your opinion is absolutely right. But here's the thing: there's nothing you can do about that.
That part is true too.
And what happens is, if you don't heal from it, it's going to show up in other things, like relationships with your significant other, having issues with feelings of abandonment, And we already know, it's already been proven what, some of the traits, some of the things that females go through when when their fathers were not in their life, or they don't have a good relationship with their fathers, and as well as what some of men go through when they didn't have a good relationship with their mothers, or their mothers wasn't in their lives, right? So we know what that looks like, and this is why it's important. This is why therapy is important, because you got to heal that. Even though it is your parent, at the end of the day, they're still human, and they're faulty, and as humans, we are faulty, And it's messed up. It's jacked up. Your feelings are absolutely valid. My feelings were absolutely valid. But at one point, was I going to continue to use that from stopping me from growing into the woman that I know I needed to be? Once you are able to heal from that and you let it go, it's always going to be there. But you release the power of that, because that stops you. That can stop you. That can keep you in situations that you should have let go a long time ago. How many women stayed stuck in relationships because they wanted that support, they wanted that security, they wanted that love, and really what they wanted was that from their father.
Right.
But they stayed in that relationship, that toxic relationship, that abusive relationship, that cheating relationship, because they didn't want to feel like they were being abandoned again. You know?
It happens, yeah.
So, you know,
True.
it's Sir Francia
it's a
said,
tricky
yes,
slope.
true. Same for my father. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of us out there, man. It's a lot of us. You know, and just as many women that's out there that's hurting from, you know, rather, you know, the relationships that they had or didn't have with their father. It's just as many men out there that is suffering.
Men have daddy issues too.
You know, with daddy issues as well as mother issues.
Absolutely.
You know? So I want to read the comment Sir Francie had in regards to what we were talking about. She said, my husband and I always text each other when we get to where we're going, and when we are on our way back. It's just something we always do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So what she's saying is perfectly, that's cool. But Sir Francie isn't saying to her husband, all right, you got to be home by midnight. So that's the part that, the way they do it is fine. I think that's respectful. I think that's how it should be, because you want to know that your person is okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Wow, you know what? This actually turned out to be
I don't know why you thought
a good conversation. You know, when we got caught up in the cousin stuff, I didn't know where we was going, but this actually started to be a good conversation, and actually was a segue to a lot of other things. But yeah, guys, if there's something that you want to talk about, if there's a topic, if there's something that you want us to really touch on, shoot us an email, or hit me in my inbox, or give us a call. Let us know, because you know, we like to really talk about, you know, real topics about real people. You know,
we don't say that no more.
Huh?
We don't say that no more.
I know we haven't said it in a while, but that's what we do, though.
It sticks.
You know, that's exactly what we do. So we want to make sure. I hear you, Jen, Uncle Shannon on the show.
Listen, I think what you said, I think that's valuable, to be honest. And I'm sure there are a lot of men that have been consistent their whole situations, but there are a lot of men that struggle. Like I say, when real life is in the mix, it's really hard to focus on that part sometimes. And then you have the special occasions where you're all in, you know, all right, this is what I need to be doing. This is just better. Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, birthday, and all that. But then, but for him to be consistent every day for 2 years, man, I want to hear how he does that. That's all I'm saying. You need to write a book or something. If he ain't gonna come on the show, he got to write a book or something.
You guys are hilarious.
For the brothers.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to anything going on with you, man?
Man, no, just readjusting. That week off was awesome. Yeah, I do have a speaking engagement coming up at the end of the summer.
Yes, you do. In the summer.
In Atlanta.
That's May.
I know. I have something else.
Oh, what you got going on, bro?
I have more details to come.
Okay.
I'm getting flued out and everything.
What?
Yeah.
Let me find out. Okay.
Somebody want to hear what I got to say.
All right. But you will also find him next month, actually May 4th, at the Mental Health Conference. He will be on the panel that will be facilitated by Dr. Kirby at the event space at the Riverfront in Wilmington, Delaware. So this is a mental health conference that I actually sit on the committee of the Mental Health Association of the State of Delaware, and I play a big part in putting this conference together. Unfortunately, I will not be there this time because I will be in Aruba doing a women's retreat. So I'm excited about that as well.
Amen.
And guys, you know what? I'm just going to put this on out there. I'm going to just throw it out there, speak it into existence. But and I'm saying 2005 because 2005, Lord. I'm saying 2025 because 2024.
I ain't even know her then.
I know. 2024 is going to be a busy year for me, but 2025, we are going to do our rebirth retreat. And right now, Costa Rica is on the charts. If there is any other destination that you would like to see, shoot us in the chat. Let us know where would be a good location to do a rebirth retreat. So I'm looking to do this in 2025. So let me know what you think. Right now, Costa Rica is my top choice right now. But yeah, let's talk about it. I'm excited about it. And there is also going to be another Rebirth Live 4. We do not have a date yet, but people have been asking. I just want you guys to know that we will definitely be working on that soon. Okay, St. Lucia. Okay. All right. You know what? You're a perfect person to talk to about this.
Is she St. Lucia?
Definitely. No, she's a flight attendant, so she flies all over the place. So you are definitely a perfect place to talk. Mom, Newark, Delaware. I'm not messing with you. Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Why not?
All right, y'all.
Let's bring the birth on down to the dirty.
I cannot. Yes, let me know where you want Rebirth to come, and we will definitely be there. But yeah, I like that, St. Lucia. Okay. All right, guys. Make sure you tune in next Monday. Thank you for supporting us, for tuning in every Monday. We are here every Monday at 7 p.m. Not next Monday, but the following Monday, we're going to be having Janelle Foster will be on the Rebirth with her new book. She wrote a children's book about hair, I believe. So natural hair. So we will be welcoming her to the Rebirth in 2 weeks. But until then, have a blessed week. Be careful. Take care of yourselves. And hey, stop expecting you from everybody else, because you will always be disappointed. All right. Have a blessed night.
All right. Peace.
We've got something to share. We're really proud of our product and are excited to make it available on our website. Check it out now.